Into today's video, I'll teach you how to create this landing page using only CSS and HTML. The web page will be divided into three parts: the header, the banner, and the main container for the displaying of the images. Let's add the HTML for the header. So logo readability, and UL, and it will render an workspace works, and another list for about. That's all for the header. Going to the banner, we'll have the title, and behind of the title with the full width, taking 100% of the viewport on both height and width. We'll have an iframe with a link to a Vimeo video. So we'll have here a div with a class name of top banner content, and we'll have inside of it an h1 with dependent designer and based in Denmark, and we'll have this iframe here with some of the URL to the video and with some controls to have it autoplayed in full screen and without controls. We'll also need to add that hand that's showing you that, look, you can scroll. Again, in the top container, we'll have a class name of top banner roll down, and in a span we'll have the of a hand, and that's all for the banner. Going to the menu, we'll iterate through the photos. The photos, it's an array containing objects, and each object containing a title and an URL to the image file from the Unsplash. So we iterate through photos map, and let's return something, a div for now. Yeah, and let's destructure and take the title and the URL, and we pass the key to the element as the URL, and let's give it a class name for further styling item. Inside of it we'll have two h1s and a container for the image. Why we need two h1s is one for the clone that will get the hovering effect, and one for the stroke. So h1, so a span class name counter, and an index of +1 dot, and here we give the title. We duplicate this and we say that this is a clone. Next we will add the structure for the image, so we'll have a div on, inside of it we'll have another div that will have a class name of a new image and a style for the background image. Let's close it first with an URL, and as the URL we pass in the URL. And for the container we also give it a class name, menu image container, and here we pass it menu list. We got the menu items. All what is left is to write the style sheet for this and to make it look pretty. Here let's start with top banner. So top banner, we'll need to make it 100 viewport height, and for the width, and for the height, we'll make it a background black. And coming back, we already see some changes. We want that the content to be displayed the flex, and we will align it to be center. Yep. Few things. We will give it a position fixed as an index of -1, top of 0, and a padding of 0, and for viewport width. And for the font we'll have it the color of white, and for the font family we will use the railway. So we will use two fonts here, families. One is the railway, and for the menu is the Fugas one. Yep, we got the text. Let's the content, top banner content next. So I'll make the font size quite big, the line height to be around 1.3. For the span, we'll have the font style italic, font weight to be 600, and we'll do something on hover. For now we'll leave it like this. Let's give it a transition, so we don't care, easy in out, something like this. Cool, we get something back in return. Style the hand, scroll down, so font size 3 rums. We give it a position absolute, bottom about 10%, a transform, translate -50%, and a left of 50%. Looking here, we got the hand. So a box sizing of border box, height 56, 25 viewports width, left 50%, mean height 100%, min width 100%, transform translate minus 50%, minus 50%, scale 1 position, absolute, top 50%, width 170, and I think is like this. Pointer events none. So what this does is it scales the video and then it zooms in. So we kind of get a nice responsive video element on every screen. So yeah, something's going on. And for our touch, we give it the index, make it background black, opacity for now, and transition all 1 sec, and our beloved transition cubic bezier, so 0.77, 0, sorry, 0.175 and 1. And in the end, let's add it the grayscale of 1 and the blur of 4 pixels. So we won't see anything. Now let's animate when we hover on the word Denmark to get a little effect and to have our video displayed in the background. I said here, yeah. So when we hover, we'll have our cursor to be pointer. Letter spacing 10 pixels, font weight of 900, and for the resp iframe we'll give it the opacity of 1. Coming back to see the results, quick refresh, oops, yeah. So we have this little nice touch on the text, and we have the video get visible in the background and having this nice little blur and filter effect on it applied on top. Let's style the header and then we will go to the main list. So here, header, we give it a position fixed to move it on top. At top 0, left 0, right 0 to span it across the whole width, and the padding of 50 pixels and for viewport width to give it a little room to breathe. Next we will make the content flex, align it at item center, and we will push the element on both sides with space between, color of white, a font family of railway, font weight to be 600, and a mix blend difference to give it a little bit of a nice touch. And for the list itself, we'll have a display flex, and a list for the list will give it a little spacing on the left and on the right. Cool, we have them. Now it's left to style the menu list. So here down, menu list. Let's close the terminal, have more room. So we'll give it a margin top of 100 viewport height to move it down. A background color of this purplish blue hue. A position relative, a padding of 1 viewport height and 0. For the menu item, we'll give it a position relative for later. See how we have this blue already. And for the menu title, we'll give it to be quite big, so font size 9 rems. A text transform to be uppercase. Font family, we'll use the Fugas one, which is cursive. Both of these fonts are taken from Google Fonts, so it's completely free. A padding of 4 view H and 4 view width for room. A Z index of 1. Yeah. And we'll trigger the clone and the node clone. So first, for the node clone, we have a margin of 10 viewport height to the 0. We'll make it stroked, so WebKit text stroke width 3 pixels. WebKit text stroke color, which is white, and the inside of it will make it transparent. And for the clone, I'll give it to be position absolute. Oops. A top of 0, pointer event to be none, color to be white, clip path to be inset of 0, 100%, 0, 0. So we will animate the text with the clip path, and the transition to be all 1s, and our beloved cubic Bezier timing function. Yeah, so we got the text, which is stroked. Now let's animate the clone text to be filled when we hover it. So when we hover the not clone text, hover. Now we make it a cursor pointer, and for the clone element we give it a clip path inset to be 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's see. Yeah, so we have our text effect. Now all what is left is to add the image effect. So for the menu image container, get it position absolute, the top 0, a right 0, a bottom 0, and a left 0. Let's overflow hidden everything and the pointer event to be none. And for the menu image, we'll give it a background size to be cover, background position to be centered. Let's remove this. A filter, a blur, 1 pixel, and the brightness of 3. A default scale will give it be scale to 1. We'll make it 100% of the parent and height, and we'll give the translate transition to be to this. Yeah, we have the images on behind, so by making them opacity 0, we won't be able to see them, and all it's left is to animate the menu here. So we go back and menu image container, menu image, opacity 1, transform scale 1, and let's bring down the blur and the brightness to be original. Oh, yeah, we've got the effect, we've got the text,